Dark Winter.
Hey guys, Spectre again. And before I start, I just wanted to ask that you guys keep your political views out of the comment section for this video. This video is about my personal experience compared to a simulated one in The Division. I have my own radical views of what happened that day, but please let's not use the comment section of this video for a discussion on that. This is about The Division and a comparison to it. Having said that, Massive has been quoted on saying that they did not use 9/11 as a reference in The Division. If they mean not directly referencing it in the game, I'd believe that, but as for not using it as inspiration and world building, I wouldn't believe that for a second. Images of New York City on 9/11 would be the perfect disaster scenario to draw from when designing this world. There have been about 3 events in recent history that have simulated aspects of the dollar bug catastrophe we see in The Division. I'd say Hurricane Sandy, which flooded downtown Manhattan and left half of the city without power, where FEMA, the real-world equivalent of Sarah, had to come in. The blackout in 2003 also left this whole city without power and forced people to adapt to this for an extended period of time, and of course 9/11. In 2001, I was a child in the 5th grade. I was in school in New Jersey at the time, but my parents and my aunt lived roughly across the street from the World Trade Center. My father picked me up from school instantly, and unlike so many people who wanted to escape New York, my father and I were trying to get in. Roadblocks were set up instantly, traffic slammed to a halt, and if you scour the internet, you can find pictures of people literally abandoning their cars on the highway. I wouldn't be able to get to the city until September 13th. Cars were not allowed downtown in order to free up roads for emergency personnel and to keep anything else from happening. I had to get out and walk with my father, but I didn't recognize the neighborhood. The ground was covered in soot and dust, and you can see papers and different office paraphernalia all over the floor from the offices that had been above. Shards of the actual Twin Towers shot into the air, but the mountains of rubble eclipsed them. US military was everywhere, riding around on jeeps and fully armed. I watched my father help clear out a local chapel to be used as a support facility. Red Cross followed soon after. My grandfather was the superintendent of the building complex that he lived in and was in charge of shutting down the building's electrical and gas system. I watched him shutting off breakers standing in 2 feet of water in a flooded basement, just hoping nothing would go wrong. I saw people helping each other, and I saw people searching for each other. The Division captures glimpses of these things perfectly. You could see it in the NPCs helping one another on the street, and in the base of operations. You can see it in the walls covered in pictures of loved ones who had been lost in the chaos, which was a way people also found each other in the real-world crisis. The abandoned cars, the deadly quiet of the city's streets, everything is captured extremely well. Even the makeshift memorials to people who have died are ripped straight from real life. The Division does an amazing job of capturing the essence of these real-world events, and I think that that's something people have picked up on. People love the Division setting because it's so authentic. It feels real because it closely mirrors these real events. It closely mirrors a New York City in peril. I can see why Massive would deny using 9/11 as a reference. I would too, even if it was a lie. It's something that has to be carefully addressed and tended to so that no one gets offended, creating a scandal that would overshadow the rest of the game. But even if you didn't use it as a reference, and you can't see it but I'm winking here, you did a great job, Massive.
With people like you, we'll make it through.
Dark Winter.